And I have a question about traveling with Wisconsin cheese.
Traveling with Wisconsin cheese.
Well, belly up and tell us about it.
Yeah, what do you got here? What's the question?
Okay, here's my situation. I am about to travel across the country, and several of my friends have requested cheese from the lovely state of Wisconsin.
They're
and
smart.
I want to know which... they are smart. I want to know what y'all's recommendation is of what cheeses I should pick out and like any safety warnings about like traveling with it.
Okay, well,
should I like freeze it first or can it be room temperature? Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good. I'm from North Dakota. I'm not as well adversed in cheese as Charlie is, so I got to defer to Charlie on this one here.
Yeah. So, first of all, you said y'all. So where are you from?
I caught that as well.
I work with a lot of different people who use a lot of different pronouns. So y'all is a really great coverall. I'm from Minnesota, but it's more of, I was like, it's very gender neutral. Everyone's happy. So I use that a lot.
You got y'all. Okay. So good deal. All right. So what I would say, first of all, is the cheeses you're going to want to pick. I would go Colby. Okay, and then cheddar. You got to get cheddar. Swiss, mozzarella, Gouda, pepper jack.
I love pepper jack.
Pepper jack is great.
God, yeah.
These are just for your starters. And look, we can even dive down to the wormhole of the types of cheeses, but I think you get a little smorgasbord like that, you know, you're going to be doing fine. In terms of transporting them, I think just like a simple cooler with some cold beers in it, and then put the cheese in there, and then make sure it's a cooler that's, you know, got a decent amount of insulation in the deal. And even if it's just one of those styrofoam coolers that, you know, someone sent you a gift once for Christmas and you still have it hanging in the back room next to the box of boxes, pull that out, put some beers in there, put some cheese in there, and that is going to be your easiest, most reliable transportation method. You don't necessarily want to put a bunch of ice in there because that ice can melt, and then you got a kind of a mess with the cheeses and stuff. So, or
use one of those the kids bring in their lunch box, the little ice pack thing.
Oh yeah, if you got some ice packs, that's good. And there is some cheese that doesn't do well being cold or whatever. And I'm not like a cheese aficionado. I just know the cheeses I know, you know. And
yeah,
so
I mean, you basically just listed off the most popular cheeses. So
did I?
Yeah, basically.
Don't call me out.
I'm surprised you didn't say to bring like the Mexican blend cheeses as well.
Wow. I you know what? I'm feeling very offended by that right now.
I don't want to add to Myles' trolling. You also kind of missed out on saying that you weren't a cheese whiz. So.
Oh, that would have been awesome. That would have been great. Up. Hey, speaking of which, I do realize that I did forget the most important cheese thing. You got to get cheese curds, and you've got to where in Wisconsin are you planning on doing this?
I'm going to be leaving from the Milwaukee airport, and I was going to ask, am I a sinner if I pick up the cheese from the airport, or do I got to go somewhere local?
You're not a bad person. You're just a person who prefers convenience over anything else, which is not bad. But I will say you should not get your cheese curds from the airport. You should find some dude in Cudahy selling them out of a cooler off the side of the road, because that's where your squeaky cheese curds are going to be.
Okay, so yes. I was waiting to interject here. If you're people who aren't in Wisconsin, they want the cheese, all that, you got to bring some squeaky cheese curds just to blow their mind.
As soon as a cheese curd squeaks in your mouth, like if it sounds like you're chewing on a live mouse, that's what you want. And you're not going to get that if you buy it out of the freezer. You got to get that fresh from the cow over the past few days. And really, at that point, it's like transporting an organ. You've got just a certain amount of time from cow to mouth.
Yeah, you better pray and be good before this, because you got to hope there's no delays in that airport of yours, or otherwise it could be disastrous.
Yeah. And by the way, Wisconsin makes all cheeses amazing. So just because I listed off the most basic ones, I'm sorry I'm a basic cheese guy.
I'm still
Myles.
offended by that.
Do you understand? Myles just ruined Top Gun for me. So we've been fighting. Okay. And so him bringing up this, you just listed off the basic cheese things to a guy from Wisconsin. I'm not in the mood for it. Okay. So
I'm sorry that his hostility is carrying over from a caller previous.
Yeah. We're not supposed to let other callers bleed into new callers. So I apologize for that. But I'm just having do you know how Top Gun ends? Because I do. Anyway, the most important thing is get those squeaky cheese curds. Make sure there's no flight delays, and make sure your friends are answering their cell phones when you land. And by the way, they should be picking you up from that airport. So
yeah, so she's flying, so she can't bring a styrofoam.
Sure you can. Check it.
You can you?
Well, then the problem is TSA has the ability to look inside that, and I do not trust TSA to
especially
not
in Milwaukee. Yeah, they're gonna take those.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I remember the very first time that I heard a cheese curd squeak.
Do you?
I do.
Where were you?
I was in Wisconsin Dells area, and it was a magical moment. I could not believe the squeak. I didn't believe it at first, and so make sure you get those because your friends their minds are gonna be blown by hearing the squeaky cheese curd.
Yeah, it is a once in a lifetime experience. The first time,
it's like, where were you when JFK got shot? Where were you on 9/11? Where were you when you had your first cheesy or squeaky curd?
Yeah,
those are the three.
Yeah, those are the three. Well said, Myles. Well said.
I did book Southwest. I get 2 free bags, so I guess my second bag is just
well, that's what I was gonna say.
Cheese curds.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to bring one for your clothes and one for curds.
And by the way, I'm glad you clarified this that you're flying. Do not put beers in there to keep them cold. Those will explode, and then you're in a world of hurt right there.
Are you speaking from personal experience?
Yes. Yes, I am. Yeah.
Well, that'll happen, Charles.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get on his good side again after the whole Top Gun debacle.
Yeah.
Charlie, that was great advice, man. Yeah. It was awesome. Keep going.
Wait, you have a follow-up?
I'll chug the beers. Chug the beers, get some of those cooler things, and put those in the suitcase, and then go into the airport intoxicated. Gotcha. Heard you loud and clear.
Yep. Perfect. We are here for that kind of advice. Now, you did not have to chug the beers. That is your own doing. We would have recommended just, purchase some. No, chug them. They're expensive at the airport. You're doing good. There's no clarifications. No edits here.
People aren't talking enough about tailgating for the airport. Why go to the long-term parking.
Yeah.
You set up shop about 4 hours before your flight.
Yeah.
Have a few brats.
Bags.
Play some cornhole bags and throw down 8 to 10 beers.
Yeah.
And then head on in for your flight. Why aren't it people need to be tailgating for their flight?
I totally agree. And in fact, now, are you going to be tailgating now that we brought that up as well?
Okay. I'm glad you brought that out. I've been tailgating alone before I go to the airport because I'm there fairly frequently, and I love the idea of being able to do it with other people. So yes. I agree, this should be a bigger thing so I don't have to tailgate alone.
Yes. Right. So if you... well, we're not going to give out your flight information.
It's just basically called drinking alone, but
Yeah. Well, if you're going to be flying sometime between now and, I don't know, a month later here, just go to the airport, look around, see if she's there, be a friend, bring some brats. You guys can have a good tailgate party.
You know what? I'm going to say this as well, because in some airports, they have designated smoking areas. And if you can have a designated smoking area at an airport, you can have a designated area outside with just a tailgate. And the airport provides the tailgates. And it has, and you can, and bags, and they got the whole setup. You can rent a tent. Yeah.
You can just rent a tent right there.
Yeah. The games are on. They should have a tailgating area at the airports instead of a smoking area.
And then you can just sneak out there. If your flight gets delayed by 4 hours, you just head to the tailgate area.
Just go to the tailgate. Better than the bar. Yes. I think we're on to something right here.
Why isn't this a thing in the Wisconsin airport?
We're going to make it a thing. We're going to put it right next to the recombobulation area. Do you know that the Milwaukee airport's the only airport in the nation with a recombobulation area?
I don't know what that means.
It means it's right when you...
I thought you were joking.
No, I'm not. When you're there, look for it. So it's when you get done taking all your stuff off for TSA, your shoes and the suitcase or whatever, they have an area with all the seats. It's at every airport, all the seats, right? But they call it the recombobulation area. Just look for the sign when you're there.
Well, what does recombobulation even mean?
It means
Charles?
Put your back on. Put your shoes back on. Put your belt back on.
Yeah, why don't they have snacks in the recombobulation area?
Well, maybe they should. Maybe the tailgating area should be the recombobulation area.
So talk to me about this. So my routine when I get through security is I'm trying to get my clothes on and my hat and all that stuff as fast as possible. I mean, have you ever been at the airport when people are going too nonchalant with that? They maybe keep their shoes off for a little too long.
Yeah.
It's kind of gross. You ever had that before?
I'm so focused on making sure my shoes are off that I'm not making PSA yell at me more than they're already doing, that I've never really paid attention to what other people do, to be perfectly honest.
So
I'm just
just me
about my own thing.
Yeah, so it's just me who's worried about
by the
that.
way, you're like, I have to take, how much clothes are you taking off at PSA? You kind of brought it up very...
Well, you can fit.
It's only shoes, right?
Well, you can fit more into a carry-on if you wear all your coat and your sweatpants and all that on the plane. If you wear it all on the plane, then you don't have to pack as much.
Yeah, Myles in summer just goes with his big parka, because that's like another bag altogether.
I mean, I guess it's saving you money and it makes you happy. You're annoyed at TSA, but you save money, so I'm happy for you.
That's what it's all about. I'm happy for your friends because they're about to get some amazing cheeses.
I'm excited it's a joy to bring something back from a trip, and I really appreciate the recommendation because I feel like their minds are gonna be blown and they're just gonna be so happy. I can't wait to see their reaction.
Yep, you got your plan. You're going to go to the roadside cheese salesman. You're going to say, give me the best curds you got. Make sure they squeak. You're going to head to the airport. You're going to tailgate by yourself for about 4 hours. Then you're going to be on your way. And then you're going to be on your way.
Just don't back your own car up, just make sure you're following the airport guidelines. We don't want to be advising any federal offenses, by driving, backing your truck up onto the runway or anything like that, so.
If I get into any trouble, I'm going to say Charlie and Myles said it was okay.
Whoa.
Get away from me. I'm not doing anything wrong.
How about just Myles
Charlie
said it was okay?
said that, not me.
Just Myles. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to be like, Myles said.
Perfect. We got it.
As if my lawyer doesn't already have enough work going on right now. Thanks so much for that.
Well,
you're welcome.
We appreciate you calling in. We hope we helped you out here. Sorry, started off with some very basic advice, but I feel like, we worked our way into something
cheeses
substantial.
Should I bring? Bring cheddar cheese.
I like cheddar. I can't help it that I'm basic, okay?
Yeah, that's all right, Charles.
Yeah.
I appreciate the advice. I think I'm going to stick with the squeaky cheese so I can just kind of do the one and done thing and everyone gets the same thing. No one gets jealous and thinks I favor someone else. So I do appreciate, and I get the whole ASMR experience.
Yes. It's a great conversation cheese is really what it is.
I like that phrase. Conversation cheese. That's good.
Well, thanks for calling in, and hopefully you have safe travels, and hopefully your cheese is squeaky.
Happy tailgating.
Thank you so much. You two have a great rest of your podcast.
All right. Thank you.